I wanted to share this information with you guys just to be a little bit more transparent, and also because I'm working my way up with sharing here on the channel, bringing you guys budget related content, money management, finance, whatever you want to look at it as, content here on the channel. I am extremely passionate about personal finance, and for me, this is an area that's kind of been taboo, I would say, within my immediate circle. And when I mean by my immediate circle, family, certain friends, as well as my spouse, just put it like that. I was not raised in a home where we discuss money at all, outside of we didn't have any at the dining room table. Like, we just didn't talk about those type of things. So anything that I have learned, it's been between just trial and error life experiences in a whole, from books or magazines, articles I may have read on the internet, podcasts that I have listened to, taking different financial type of courses, whether it be at the local credit union, bank, what have you, church, etc. But then also just things I have learned watching others that seem to be doing well or good at handling money, so on and so forth. So anyways, I want to bring this content here with you guys on the channel. And I've just been working my way up to being able to do that and be as transparent as I possibly can be with you all. So getting into it, guys, our financial situation in a whole. As most of you know, I am self-employed. I own and operate a home daycare as my primary source of income. And I also do a little bookkeeping and tax services on the side as well. Now, that is an area that I'm highly motivated in. I love that. I'm a nerd. That's what my husband called me. I'm a nerd. I love to be able to work with numbers, organize things, put things together, and just have things outlined and laid out and organized, so on and so forth. So I'm definitely wanting to put more energy in building up that side hustle of bookkeeping and tax service and so on and so forth. Not quite sure if I want to turn that into a full-time gig per se, but that's a story of another day. So anyways, that's my line of work, and outside of that, a few other little things I dabble into here and there. Now, I started the daycare about 5.5 years ago, and it was started out of a necessity and a need, first off. And not to go into great detail, but we have 4 kids of our own, and when we first moved into our home, all 4 of our kids were in full-time daycare. And if you can imagine, that was pretty much our mortgage note right there. So it only made sense for me to stay home, or someone to stay home. And at the time, it made sense for me to do so, obviously, because I was the one nursing the baby, which was Mason at the time, so on and so forth. So anyways, I'll get to that in another video. My husband, on the other end, has always worked a standard 9 to 5 up until the latter part of 2015 when he was laid off. No fault of his. It was just I think maybe the 3rd or 4th round of layoffs in this particular company, and he got his pink slip, and that was that. So from there, it has been, you know, him trying to figure out what he wanted to do. When it happened, I can see it was a devastating blow to him, you know, emotionally wise, etc. Because from his point of view, he was doing all that he was supposed to do for this job, on this job, you know, hitting the clock when he was supposed to, so on and so forth. So he kind of took it a little hard, emotionally wise. And I seen that as his wife, so I stepped back, you know, no pressure, no whatever. The daycare was doing fine. We were in a good place financially. We had just finished taking the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University course at our church, and we had a game plan and things that we were planning to do in order, period. So I was confident that even though he was not working full-time at the moment, with the income that the daycare was pulling in, what we have been able to save, and the debt that we had paid off, so on and so forth, we were going to still be okay. But of course, he still needed to find a job. Now, getting to the question of what do you want to do? This is a question I, asked the hubby. And he wanted to go back to school, which I support, but I don't support. And that's a video for another day within itself. But I simply said, okay, great, but we still have to make sure that we meet these obligations and these things still take place. So if you want to go back to school, you still have to work. You got to figure all this out, right? So on and so forth. Long story short, moving forward to the present moment, he has not found a full-time gig. He does 2 part-time gigs that really don't equal a full-time gig, if you will. So that's still a struggle. So our current financial situation at the moment is I'm still pretty much the breadwinner, which it's just a whole other story for another day. It's not a pressure that I want on my shoulders at all. And things are just kind of up in the air because of the 2 side little gigs that he does do. It's not stable, and there's no guarantee on exactly what's going to be brought in each week, or for that matter on what day of the week, so on and so forth. So all of that in the bag of chips, moving on. Now, I have always been the one that took care of all the administrative type duties in our home. I have always been the one that handled the books, everything related to it. And I will tell you guys that it was a natural thing that occurred. I mean, when we got together, I was already doing the dang on thing, if you will. I had 2 kids, a single mother. I have always been responsible and taking care of things and moving on and so forth and so on. So when we got together, it just naturally occurred that I continue on in that role. And I would say maybe, the first couple years within our marriage, it seemed to work. And then when things started kind of getting tight, finances weren't as great as they should have been, or hoping they would be, and all that stuff, there is when the resentment kind of starts to sit in, of course, because, I'm sitting over here with the numbers. I know everything that's going on. He's kind of clueless as to what's going on, so on and so forth. So immediately then, I realized that this will not work for us, that we need to be on the same page, financially speaking. We need to know exactly what's going on. I have always said it doesn't matter who writes the check out, who goes and hand the cash over, who clicks the mouse to pay the bill. It doesn't matter who does it, but both parties need to be present on how the money will be allocated, who will it go to, what will be purchased, how much are we willing to pay for something, etc., etc., etc. So, needless to say, I would have to say probably for the last 7.5, 8 years, I have been fighting that fight, if you will, of trying to get us on the same page with our finances and budgeting and sitting down together and doing everything. Now, I did share with you guys how my bill binder is set up, and like I stated in that video, I set it up in a way that it would be easy for him to follow if need be. I mean, to me, it's very simple. It's not complicated at all. Even with that being done, it's almost like lava to him, and he does not like to touch it. Let's just say that. It's just not his thing. I have asked him, maybe, do you want me to try a different method for organizing? What else would work for you? He's just not interested in it. It is what it is. Now, I know some would say, just let it be. What works is what works. But it works for him to not be interested. It doesn't work for me for him not to be interested. Like, it stresses me out because it leaves me being the one that has to delegate everything, and that's just not fair. Video for another day. So moving on. Financially, where we're at now, again, is the daycare is still the breadwinner. So I budget based on the daycare's income. Whatever he does bring in is not surplus, really. It goes to where it needs to be placed. If there is any surplus after the budget is completely done and we have extra income coming in, and that also is allocated where it needs to be, whether it's sync funds or paying off debt. And I will get into a whole other video in regards to debt and all that stuff there. So again, I just wanted to kind of quickly, and I don't know how quick it is because I get to talking anyways. I wanted to share with you guys to be a little bit more transparent as to where we are financially and where things are going, and that I am working towards building, bringing more budget-related finance topics to the channel, and all that stuff there. Because me personally, I love personal finance. I love to discuss it, and I love to get other perspectives and outlooks on things, because at the end of the day, personal finance is just that, personal. So, one more thing, I follow the Dave Ramsey system, if you will. If you're not sure who Dave Ramsey is, he's a financial guru in a nutshell. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you go and look him up here on YouTube, on Facebook, or go directly to his website, daveramsey.com, and just go and see what the information is there that he has to offer. Now, I don't follow all of his steps to the T, so to speak. The foundation that he sets is key, and I do stand on that foundation, but how I build my walls may slightly different, and I'll get into that in future videos. But I always say he's the uncle that I never had. He's very cut dry to the point of, do this, do that, this is how it needs to be done, etc. And for someone, for me, it makes sense. It has made sense. For so many others, it has made sense. So again, I highly recommend that you go and look him up if you have never heard of him before. Outside of that, like I said, I do follow his steps, but slightly different things that I do, and I'll touch on that in a different video. So again, guys, I just kind of want to be transparent as to where we are financially. Currently living off of one income, not my dream in this state. And I wouldn't say not my dream. Like, I want to be able to live and function off of one income, not to mean the other person don't work. Other person still works, but their one income takes care of the household in a nutshell. I just don't want to be the breadwinner. I don't want to be the income. I mean, call me selfish and I'll answer, but that's exactly what it is. So, moving on with that. If you guys have any questions for me in regards to any of all the above that I have just shared with you, please ask me down below. If not, hit me up on Facebook or on Instagram, and I'll be more than happy to get back with you, discuss the question in more detail on a video if need be, and so on and so forth. So, with all that said, guys, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you have not done so already. And until next time, guys, stay true.